Hey, welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the fastest growing markets in East Africa, sports betting in Tanzania. So whether you're just curious about this explosive market, or maybe you're thinking of placing your first bet, we're going to break down everything you need to know, from how to pick a safe platform to understanding the rules of the road. Let's jump right in. And just to kick things off, let's start with a number that pretty much tells the whole story. By 2025, the sports betting market in Tanzania is projected to be worth almost $200 million US. I mean, that's not just growth, right? That is an absolute explosion. And that kind of money is a total game changer for everyone involved.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into why this boom is even happening. Then, we'll walk through exactly how to choose the right betting site for you. After that, we'll get into the essential tools you'll need, from payment options to key features. Then, we'll shift gears to focus on betting smart and staying safe, before finally taking a little peek at what the future might hold.
So let's start with that boom. What's really driving all this incredible growth? Well, it turns out it's kind of a perfect storm of technology, some smart regulation, and of course, a deep, deep national passion for sports.
If you want to know the single biggest reason for this boom, this is it. A massive 77% of Tanzania's population has a mobile phone. That kind of access has just opened up a gigantic market, letting pretty much anyone with a phone get in on the action from anywhere, anytime, right from the palm of their hand. It's a huge technological leap that has totally reshaped entertainment.
But, technology alone isn't enough. You need a solid foundation, and the legal framework here has been absolutely crucial. Gambling was first legalized way back in 1992, and online betting got the green light in 1999. But the creation of the Gaming Board of Tanzania in 2003 is what really formalized everything. It created a regulated, stable environment where today, about 22 licensed companies can operate securely.
Okay, so when you have a stable, regulated market, you get choice. A lot of choice. And that leads to the big question for anyone starting out. How do you possibly pick the right platform? It can feel a little overwhelming, for sure, but there's a simple framework that helps cut through all the noise. Here it is, a 5-step checklist to help you pick a winner. First, and this is the most important one, check for that official license from the Gaming Board of Tanzania. No license? No deal. Second, compare what they offer, the features, the number of sports, all that stuff. Third, take a good look at the welcome bonuses. Fourth, test out their customer support. You want to know they're helpful before you have a problem, right? And finally, just assess the overall user experience. Is the website or the app actually easy and fun to use? So let's see how this plays out with 3 of the heavy hitters. You can see right away they all bring something different to the table. Betway, for example, is known for its huge variety. We're talking over 30 different markets. Then you have 1xBet, which really grabs your attention with a massive welcome bonus and support in dozens of languages. And SportPesa is super popular for its really low minimum stakes and those big jackpot prizes. See? It all comes down to what you're looking for. Okay, so once you've picked your site, it's time to look under the hood. What are the essential tools you're going to be using? Let's start with the most fundamental thing, getting your money in and out. It really breaks down into 2 main camps. On one side, you've got the super convenient local mobile money services like M-Pesa, Tigo Pesa, and Airtel Money. These are tools that millions of people already use in their daily lives. Then on the other side, you've got the international methods like Visa, MasterCard, e-wallets, even Bitcoin, which can give you a bit more global flexibility. All right, so with all these platforms and ways to pay, what are people actually betting on? Let me ask you. What sport do you think absolutely as positively reigns supreme in the Tanzanian betting world? Yep, no surprise here, right? It's football, all day long. The passion for the game there is just immense. We're talking everything from the local Tanzania mainland Premier League all the way up to the giants like the English Premier League and La Liga. It is, by a massive margin, the #1 market. And the modern betting experience comes packed with some really powerful features. Live, or in-play betting, lets you place wagers as the action is literally unfolding. The cash-out feature gives you the power to settle a bet early. Bet Builders lets you create your own custom wagers on a single game. And hey, it's not just traditional sports anymore. The booming world of esports means you can find markets for games like Dota 2 and CSGO pretty easily now. So having all these powerful tools is awesome, but it brings us to a really crucial topic: how to bet smart and, more importantly, stay safe. Because in a market that's booming like this, you gotta know the rules of the road. At the very heart of all this is the Gaming Board of Tanzania. Think of them as the official referee.
Their job is to license the legitimate companies and make sure the entire industry is fair, transparent, and safe for players. Seriously, choosing a site they've approved is your absolute #1 line of defense.
So how can you quickly spot a site you can trust? It really just boils down to 2 simple checks. First, does it have that valid license we just talked about? And second, does it use secure technology, like SSL encryption, to protect your money and your personal info? If the answer is yes to both of those, you're in a much safer spot.
Now, betting smart isn't just about safety. It's also about strategy. And one of the simplest and best strategies is summed up right here. Don't just stick to one site. Shop around. Compare the odds, especially for the big games. Using comparison tools and joining betting communities can give you a real edge.
And speaking of betting smart, here is a number that every single bettor in Tanzania needs to remember: 20%. Your winnings are subject to a 20% tax. That's a super important detail to factor into your thinking, just so there are no surprises down the road. All right, we've covered a ton of ground on how things look today, so for our final section, let's pull all this together and then take a little peek at what might be coming next on the horizon.
But before we look to the future, let's just lock in the key takeaways from all this. Number 1, this market is huge and it's still growing fast. 2, safety first. Always choose licensed and secure sites. 3, mobile apps and local payments are the engines making all of this so accessible. 4, football is king, no question. And finally, number 5, bet smart. Compare those odds and manage your money. And that foundation really leaves us with one last thing to chew on. This industry moves incredibly fast. As technology gets even more advanced and regulations continue to adapt, what do you think the next game-changing feature will be? What's the next big play for bettors in Tanzania? It's a really exciting space to watch, for sure. Thanks for digging into all this with me.